Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2025, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 78 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 and Viksit Bharat 2025, 2047 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Well. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
गुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं गुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं गुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं गुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. This week is commemorated as Better Conversation Week, which is celebrated during the week of Thanksgiving. And this year, it takes place from November 23rd to 29th, founded by Lauren Erkroth. Encourages everyone to have open, meaningful conversation with their loved ones. Also creates awareness about the benefits of better conversation and shows that while talking about feelings and thoughts can be challenging, it doesn't have to be. The art of conversation is dying out. In fact, we lost the ability to truly engage and connect with others outside the rectangular frames of our electronic devices. But connections are fundamental to human experience. Conversations deepen, repair relationships, and form connections where none previously existed. Throughout history, conversations have started and even ended full scale wars, and when done right, they can transform our world for the better. By avoiding conversation or stumbling through conversations, we risk getting misinterpreted or misunderstood. At the same time, we miss the chance to connect with others, to know their fears, happiness, and deep seated vulnerabilities, and let them know ours. So, Better Conversation Week hopes to change how we approach conversations at home or elsewhere. You don't need to be a natural conversational wizard to have memorable chats. You don't have to be life of party either. Great conversations stem from listening. No, really listening and building it from there. Listen with the intent to understand, resist the urge to reply, and carefully consider what you want to say. Moreover, your audience know your audience. We mean diverse people from various walks of life, such as corporate shorts, conservative neighbors, and exhausted spouses. Each one views the world differently. Meaningful dialogue takes place when we meet everyone in the middle, and if you find the conversation isn't going anywhere, ask open ended questions. It always works. This week is also commemorated as Philatelic Week in the Philippines from November 23rd to 29th to promote significance of philately to the art, science, culture, and international relations. The field and hobby of philately have been in existence over 150 years. Philately is the study and collection of postage stamps, postcards, postmarks, and other materials relating to the postal delivery. It also refers to the appreciation and research of these materials. Philately is viewed by many as the world's oldest formal collecting hobby. It is practiced in every country that issues postage stamps and mainly popular in the US, Germany, France, and UK. So the origin of philately can be traced to 1840 when the English post office introduced postage stamps. The postage stamps were an idea by Rowland Hill, who proposed in his 1937 pamphlet, Post Office Reform, its importance and practicability as a solution to the revenue problem. The post office in Great Britain were experiencing. The Exchequer supported this proposal, and on May 1st, 1840, a one penny design in black and a two penny one in blue with profile of Queen Victoria went on public scale. In 1841, the earliest reference to stamp collecting was recorded when a lady placed an advertisement in the Times of London looking for the cover for a dressing room with cancelled postage stamps. So later on, between 1842 and 43, New York City, the Brazilian Empire, and the Swiss cantons of Zurich and Geneva started issuing stamps. In 1847, the US government issued stamps of 5 cents and 10 cents bearing the pictures of Benjamin Franklin and George Washington, respectively. As of 1850, most countries in the world had begun issuing postage stamps. It was around 1850 that philately took off. The person considered stamp to be a first philatelist is Manson, a postmaster who lived in Paris. In 1855, Manson sold his stamp collection to the stamp merchant and second-hand book dealer Edward D. Replenty. Following the sales of valuable collection, many stamp merchants started to emerge. In the late 19th century, individuals worldwide and countries began collecting stamps. Countries like England, Germany, France, and Belgium created mechanisms to collect stamps. Also, some of these countries established museums dedicated to their history and philately. In 1934, German philatelist Hans von Rudolphi suggested the idea of celebrating an annual postage stamp day. The idea was quickly adopted in Germany and other countries, later established a stamp day. On October 13, 1969, President Ferdinand E. Marcos of the Philippines proclaimed the last week of November as Philately Week. Today is also commemorated as Fibonacci Day on November 23rd, especially in the US, also known as the Leonardo of Pisa or Leonardo Fibonacci. Leonardo Bonacci invented a pattern of counting that continues to influence math and technology today. The pattern is made up of numbers, the previous two numbers before them, like 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, and so on. The sequence is used in computing, stock trading, and architecture and design. Once we discovered the sequence and it started showing up everywhere, nature is full of Fibonacci patterns, from DNA to hurricanes, leading some to dub the Fibonacci sequence, nature's secret code. Of course, this is not new to India, where such patterns exist. Even we can observe them in ancient scriptures. So this is mostly in the West that one of the most important mathematicians of the Middle Ages, Leonardo Bonacci, later known as Fibonacci, the son of Bonacci, invented a sequence of numbers rather than, we can say, rediscovered that shows up constantly in nature, physics, and design. Born to an Italian merchant, Leonardo traveled to North Africa with his father, where he exposed to Hindu-Arabic numeral system. The system, which includes zero and limits itself to 10 symbols, is much more agile and flexible compared to the unwieldy Roman numeral system. In 1202, Fibonacci published Liber Abaci, introducing Europe to the Hindu-Arabic system and his now famous sequence. So starting with 1, 2, 3, 5, the Fibonacci sequence is created by adding up two previous numbers to get the next one. Fibonacci original example for his sequence pondered the population growth of rabbits. If started with one pair and each month that pair bears a new pair and the number of rabbits will grow at a rate of consistent with his patterns of numbers. So the golden ratio, a proportion associated with Fibonacci sequence and also frequently found in nature, is roughly 1 to 1.6. The ratio shows up in the branching patterns of trees, the distribution of seeds and berries, the spiral arms of galaxies, and many more natural and human engineered things. Fibonacci Day celebrates the important mathematician and gives an opportunity to marvel the way math pervades everything around us. The Fibonacci sequence can be used to calculate the proportions of countless things on Earth and beyond, such as animals, plants, weathers, patterns, and even galaxies. So pause to observe your surroundings and you'll start to notice familiar spiral all around. Today is also commemorated as Labor Appreciation Day in Japan on November 23rd. Every year it is an occasion to respect labor and celebrate production. If it falls on Sunday, Labor Appreciation Day is celebrated on next day. This day is rooted in ancient harvest festival known as Nainem Sai. The later celebrated the harvest of the five serats. Today, school children prepare cards and gifts to distribute to people who work in labor sector show appreciation for their work and contributions to the country. Companies too review and appreciate their accomplishments and workers. Today, Japan is rather collectivist society focusing on community, culture, and family. Labor Appreciation Day was established to honor the workers on whose labor the country of Japan has been built. These people are ordinary members of the society instead of leaders. Their fulfillment of duty ensures that Japanese society is functioning as it should. Today is also commemorated as National Cashew Day in US, which is celebrated every year on November 23rd all around the US. This kidney-shaped nut isn't just loved in US, it is also popular across the globe. They have innumerable uses, snack on them, cook with them, and even consume it as you like. Cashews are indeed a light nuts that deserve a day to celebrate them, and it is a special day dedicated to enjoying crunchy, savory, or versatile nut in many ways. The name cashew comes from the Portuguese for its fruit, caju or acaju, derived from the Tupian word acaju, which means nut that produces itself. Cashews, unlike other nuts, grows like tails out of the bottom of cashew apples. Their trees are generally huge but nattle. Rio Grande do Norte, Brazil is home to the world's largest cashew tree, which covers more than 81,000 square feet, almost 70 times the size of a regular one. The outer covering of the cashew nut contains an anacardic acid that causes skin irritation, which is why Europeans first discovered cashews in Brazil in 1558 and they thought they were inedible. So the Tupi Indians, a local native tribe, showed the Portuguese value of actual seed which they had discovered while watching the local pinched monkeys. They trained the Portuguese to roast the seeds to get the irritant off. Not only did they come to enjoy the taste of cashews, they even made drink out of fruit pulp. The Portuguese were such fans of the nut and their missionaries brought cashews to Goa, India in 1560. The Indian climate proved the perfect fit to plant them, and cashews took the country by storm, and Indians even discovered healing properties within the nut, adding its popularity. Cashews spread rapidly throughout the Southeast Asia and Africa and became essential parts of their food and commerce. It wasn't until 1905 that cashews reached the US. They initially saw a slow spread, only becoming popular around the mid 1920s. Research has shown that these nuts are effective antidepressants. They are rich in minerals and vitamins and a perfect ingredient for soups, stews, desserts, especially in Latin American and Asian cuisine. Other parts of the main plant, including the fruit, oil, pulp, bark, are all just valued. Cashew nuts are also used to make industrial products like paint, brake liners, lubricants, waterproofing, and in the World War II, they were even used for arms production. Cashews are packed with protein and essential vitamins and minerals such as calcium, iron, potassium, zinc, vitamin B1, vitamin B2, vitamin E, and so much more. They are rich in copper, which keeps the immune system healthy. Cashews are versatile nuts that they have several uses. They can be snacked on, cooked with, or used to make butter and cheese. Cashews are delicious and are considered a premium quality snack. They are widely used in South and Southeast Asia and are essential part of the side in the south of India. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining us. See you all tomorrow at the same time with the same joining link. Before leaving, we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form before leaving the platform. See you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night.